It's wrap-up time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today it is the May wrap-up. I actually read 6 books in May, but I have 2 carryovers that I will wrap up into. And so I would just talk about the 4 books that I really finished in May. There are 2 3-star books that actually, tend to the lower side of the 3 stars, more to 2.5, and 2 4-star books. And I will start with the 3-star books, so I don't want to say get them out of the way, but I enjoyed them less than the others. So first we have The War in the Dark by Nick Satchfield. This is a historical fantasy novel, I would call it, or alternative history. And we follow a British Secret Service agent, Christopher Winter, on a mission through Europe. This is set in the 60s, I believe. We still have the Cold War, and this is actually also what it is most about. It's there is a quote here, or like on the back, I don't know. It says it's something between James Bond and Indiana Jones. And when I got this from the Willoughby Book Club, I was actually very excited about it. I chose it for our buddy read for May, so Claudia has been reading this as well. We wanted to do a whole chat about this, but we decided we will not do it because actually we did not have that much to say, and most of the things were rather critical. So to explain what the problem is here, actually this book has a lot of good ideas to connect occultism with a James Bond-like type of story, so that you have a lot of action here, a lot of plot, is actually quite interesting. But unfortunately the execution of this was not at least as I enjoy it. I felt like we had so much plot that there was no character development at all. So we follow Christopher through the whole of Europe, like it goes bang, 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 like Mission Impossible. He goes to find out why his superior was, his boss was murdered, and he actually gets involved into finding an object, and he actually doesn't know what kind of object it is, and all of the secret services, and of course, because it's Cold War, Russia, the Soviets are involved, and he's meeting a Russian, like probably also Secret Service woman. I don't want to give away too much, but actually everything is so, I don't want to say convoluted, but it's like you have so many things happening. He's like one twist after the other, and you don't know actually what he wants. What, like, we don't get anything about Christopher as an I think as a person that we should care about this. So it's really like, if you like action movies, then this might be for you, because there's not much about the characters that we get as information. It's more about the plot, what they are doing and what they are trying to do. And you have like East Berlin, and you have everything that you can imagine happening in an action movie, like people shooting out of helicopters, and bombs, and motorcycle rides, bicycle rides. Yeah, it's just like bang, 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 and then we're done in the end, and everything that we knew to be the problem until then was solved like in 20 minutes, and then it's over, and yeah, and like in 20 minutes. I'm really like talking about movies here. It's like 20 pages. It felt like 20 pages. Then everything was solved, and then we are actually already introduced to the next book in the series. And it's like, it's already over? And yeah, that was my feeling about it. And for me, because I'm a character-driven reader, this is not really what I want. If you're very plot-driven, then this might be for you. So I don't want to say don't pick it up, but for me it didn't work. And I think Claudia had the same problem, and that's why I gave it 3 stars, because of the plot, because it was still an adventure and we wanted to find out what happened in the end. But for me, you know, it was not what I hoped it would be. Next book that was more of a disappointment was The Bride and the Pale by Jessica Rubinkowski. So I got this in the March Fairy Loot box, and the setting is a Russian inspired wintry fantasy setting, which is actually absolutely up my alley, because I love, as you might have seen with my other videos here, I love the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden, and so I thought, oh, this sounds like in this direction, right? We follow Valeria here, who is a part of the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild is actually secretly working for the Tsar, and the whole thing is that she actually comes from Ludminska, which is a place that is seen as cursed because it's close to Knott Mountain, and Knott Mountain once erupted somehow, and it froze everything around Knott Mountain, including the people and everything in the area in Ludminska. And whenever people are coming from Ludminska to somewhere else in this country, they actually get so to say like thrown into prison, and because people think they have a plague that everyone else could get as well. So she's undercover as a thief, and we start the journey that she should retrieve something from the, I think, the monastery. It's about Lovite. Lovite is a very expensive kind of stone that you could mine in Knott Mountain, and this is what most of the people in Ludminska have been doing back in the day. And it's very precious, and you can buy a lot with Lovite. And the Tsar wants as much Lovite as possible, and because nobody can go and mine anymore, it is very important to have some Lovite somewhere, and if you can steal it, then why not? And that's what she should be doing, but actually it's not about that at all, because she gets somehow found out when she was on this mission, and she ends up running away and has to go with some guy, where we see later that he is a former soldier, on a trip to Knott Mountain. She's actually somehow persuaded to do this because now she can be with her best friend that she thought was lost and killed a year ago, and but he was saved, and he's, so to say, the reason why she is agreeing to go to Knott Mountain, and whatever the guy wants to find there, probably the Lovite. Ivan is his name, the soldier that wants her to go to Knott Mountain with her. And yeah, everything unfolds from there. So what we have here is, of course, Alik, the friend of Valeria, is the love interest as well. And yeah, my feelings about this. The situation is, in itself, it's interesting. Once they get to the mountain, they're just walking in the mountain, and from cage to cage, and we have some bit of mystery here, some tension there, and yeah, in the end everything is solved very easily as well. And actually the religious point that is should be important here because of the bright and pale. We get the information in the mountain what that is actually about. That should be actually more of a thing, and probably it will be in the next book, because I think this is a duology, or at least this is just the first book in a series. The thing is, I will not continue there, because Valeria, the main character that we follow, is super annoying. In a way, I understand this is YA. You always have the typical things if you have a female main character, that she's always kick-ass and she always can do everything that the boys can do, usually, or the men. And this is in a way good. It can also be a bit, I don't know, disappointing. But what my problem was really that her character, I don't know whether she should be like this or it just happened because the author tried to create conflicts, which is always the thing going on in YA fantasy, that you try to create conflicts between the love interest and the main character, and in here it happened the whole time, and Valeria was just freaking out all the time. Whenever there was a conflict or a problem, she was just angry. She was just angry, doing stupid stuff, not thinking about anything at all, and then saying the wisest things possible in other moments. And you think, like, it's not working like this. I understand she's 17, but why do you have to be insufferable? And I really felt like I don't want to follow this person. I don't want to know what she's going through, because she's just annoying the F out of me. And also her love interest, Alec, he has not much of an edge of a character, so he's fine, he's okay. There is no reason why you should be freaking out whenever you find something out about him, or you know, something that you haven't known before. So I was really like, I could not stand her. And actually, I don't have problems with characters that I don't like. I don't need to like everyone that I read about, but I just didn't want to hear her stupid stuff anymore. And so for me then, that you could not even focus on the plot, because the plot was like, it was not interesting enough to take away, you know, this negative point of the character not being like interesting or realistic in a way for her situation. And that was my problem. I definitely will not continue with the series. If you're a very unexperienced reader, maybe this is for you. Like if you're you like YA and it's not a problem for you, or you are in that age range, maybe you even can connect to Valeria much more than I could do. I usually have no problem to read YA, but some things are just, you're too old for it at one point. And I felt I'm too old for Valeria, absolutely. And I would have enjoyed this more if the author would have focused more on the religious part of the two gods, the bright and the pale, that fight each other, and give us more of the background, so that I can see that she actually has flesh, real material in the story, and not just a 17-year-old insufferable brat. Let's move on to the two very good movies, the very good books that I read, and start with Bloodsong by Anthony Ryan. And this is the first entry in the Ravensong trilogy, and this is a chunker, as you can see. I really enjoyed this one. We follow Vaelina Sona, who is the son of the Battle Lord, who gives him to the 6th Order when he is, I think, 10 or 11 years old. And he will be, so to say, a fighter for the realm. And also, like, of course, because this is some kind of an order that they are connected to the faith as well. But usually when you're in this order, then you're a warrior, and you will die for the kingdom, because everything you do is actually fight and defend. And we follow the whole story of Valen growing up in this school setting. You have, of course, all of the other boys that are given to the Sixth Order from completely different parts of the country, and also from different ways of life. Some of them come from rather poor background, others from political background. It's very interesting to follow them, to see how they grow as a group, and with the harsh lessons they get, how they, get together, how they become friends, how they try to survive in this, and what becomes of Valen when he is older, because as you can see, there's a lot happening here. He becomes the most famous and also most dangerous warrior in the whole country, and he becomes very important for the king as well, to use him, of course, as a tool against his political enemies. And we see that the king is starting to prepare to get kind of a war going, because as you have in real life as well, they want to grow the kingdom and get more countries like annexed to their own. And we follow Valen falling in love in a way as well, to a sister, to a nurse, so to say, to a healer. I thought this is really, really good. I'm absolutely continuing with the next book, maybe even this year, although they are all like this. I enjoyed the characterization, I enjoyed everything here, and the only thing, so to say, that was me preventing it to give 5 stars was that you already have your expectations, what will happen, and some of these expectations for me, they happen, and I don't like to be the person to know beforehand where we will be going. This is the only criticism I have, but this is, I think, connected to the genre. It's not even connected to what the writer is doing in his characterization or whatever. So there's no criticism like this, and I still gave it 4 stars. 4 stars is very good for me. So I'm really, really excited to go on with this. I can tell everyone to read this. I would even say that I like it a bit more than Joe Abercrombie, although I really like Joe Abercrombie. So this is something very interesting. I hope you will pick it up, and I will continue with the series. 4 stars. I really liked it. And here we go with the last book that I read, which is a BookTube darling. It is a Pulitzer Prize winning novel, and it has been famous already before it became a BookTube darling for years and years and years, and this is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I wanted to read this for a very, very long time, and I'm happy that I did it back in May. In case you don't know, this is what's these days called dark academia, and we follow a group of college students in Vermont. They are all in Greek classics course, so to say, and this is a very special course because the teacher is just taking like 5, 6, 7 students every year to his course, or like every time he starts the course, so to say, so he's very picky, and we don't know exactly why, what's so special about the characters of the people that he chooses to be part of his course. And we follow Richard here, and he's coming from a very poor background in California, but he's pretending to be wealthy as well. And so we already have like conflict in the beginning, but he's getting into this course and we get to know about all of the people in this course. There is a murder here, because this is a murder mystery as well. And we follow, actually, it's not just most of the time about the murder, it's what happened after with the people, which is like, wow. I really love the way Donna Tartt talked about the people. Like, we have Camilla and Charles, which are twins, we have Henry, we have Frances, and we have Bonnie and Richard. And we learn about all of their backgrounds. We learn about all of the secrets that they actually keep, which I thought, like, you know, the secret history, I thought in the beginning that this is about that they will have like a secret society, and because it's, you know, Greek tragedy, and yes, it is like a Greek tragedy, but it's more about the drama of the inner life of people. And I really, really liked how she did it. The only reason why it didn't get 5 stars is that it was in some parts very slow in the beginning, which has nothing to do with the build-up of the thriller aspect in this movie. It was more like, I thought in the 90s you have been writing books a different way than these days. And it's not exactly criticism, because I read a lot of classics and stuff from that is much older than that. But I thought there could have been a bit more, could have been a bit quicker, a bit faster in the beginning on like 50 pages, that I was like, okay, what's going on here? And but that's the only criticism I had. I love this book and I will definitely tell everyone to read it. I loved Henry most of all of the characters because he's the most complicated character. He's the most distressed character, as I think. And he's the hardest to understand of all of them. If you've read this book, you know exactly what I mean. I don't want to give anything away because you should read it. You should really read it. There is a reason why Donna Tartt got the Pulitzer Prize for this one. I read The Goldfinch from her years ago and I also liked it, but it has the same criticism like this one, that there were some very slow parts, although I really liked it. And I think this is like a masterpiece of character study. And I will definitely read the other books from Donna Tartt as well, because I think she's a really, really good writer. And this book really made my May experience, because I was so disappointed with 2 other books that I read, as you've just heard before. So that I was really happy to have like a really, you know, shining gem in my May experience. And this is this book. Read it, read it, read it. It's so good. So guys, these were all of the books that I have finished in May. Let me know in the comments down below, have you read any of these? Did you like any of these? What was your judgment about them? What have you been reading in May? Is there anything that you think I should be reading as well? I hope you have a great day and I see you guys soon. Bye!